big box games look great on a shelf. But these 10 small games actually hit the table, and I think you might like them too, starting with number 10. For number 10, I have Flip 7. Flip 7 is a push your luck card game, and it plays beautifully on this Box King gaming table, which are the sponsors of this video, but more on them later. In Flip 7, your objective is simple. Be the first to score 200 points. First to do so wins the game. In this game, your turns are very simple. You either draw a card, scoring more points, or you can choose to pass. That's it. The more cards you score, the more points you earn. But you want to be careful, because as soon as you draw 2 cards that are the same number, you bust and lose everything that you gained. The deck itself throws little extra cards as well, such as freeze cards, where when you get it, you can choose to freeze another player and they must stop gaining cards for the rest of the round. Or you can force someone to draw 3 cards, or even yourself if you're feeling lucky and you want to get more cards. Or you could draw a second chance card. And what this means is if you draw a duplicate card, you're not out of the round. You can keep going. As you can tell, this game is very simple, but I love that push your luck element that you immediately get when playing this game. Easy to teach, fun to play with players of all ages, and just a great game to play for family gatherings. So if you're looking for something small but very easy to teach for the whole family to play, try out Flip 7. If you're enjoying the content so far, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. Now, on to number 9. For number 9, I have Compile. In Compile, you are competing artificial intelligences trying to understand the world around you. 2 players select 3 protocols each to test. Throughout the game, you'll be playing cards in 3 different arenas called protocols. First, to compile all 3 protocols, grasp those concepts to win the game. Compile is a very unique game, and it's a theme that I'm not very used to in other card or board games. However, what I really like about this game is the unique different playstyles that are available in this game. The play and the game itself changes depending on the protocols that you pick. Each one has their own playstyle, and each synergize in different ways depending on the 3 different protocols that you choose. This is a 2-player game, and it is a bit more in your face. But if you're really into comboing your moves and synergizing your cards, then you'll have a great time playing this game. It's very small, it has a lot of replayability, and there's also additional protocols that you can get along with the base game. I've talked more about this in the 10 games that I'm currently addicted to in 2025, so if you'd like to hear more about that, you can watch that video above. But if you're into 2-player games with a lot of combos and synergizing between cards, check this game out. This is Compile. But before I continue, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Box King, the designers of the Kingswood Game Table, a high-quality table designed for board gamers. The Kingswood features a solid hardwood frame, a recessed play area that keeps your components secure, and optional toppers that let you convert it back into a dining table when game night's over. You can also customize different details, such as the wood finish, the color of the playing surface, so it fits perfectly in your space. It's built with durability and ease of use in mind. It has a comfortable play height and a smooth topper system that locks securely in place. If you've been looking for a practical upgrade that blends furniture design with tabletop functionality, check out the Kingswood Game Table from Box King. You can find more details and options at the link below. Now, on to the video. For number 8, I have Sea Salt and Paper, and surprise, surprise, this game is here again on a different list. I've talked about this game several times, but this is such a good game, and there's so much replayability. Sea Salt and Paper is a set collection game. You're trying to score points by collecting a certain amount of cards, whether through duo cards, getting pairs, scoring 1 point, or by collecting seashells, other different cards. The more cards that you collect, the more points you score. But the real interesting part is how each round ends. You have the chance to end a round through one of 2 ways. You can say stop, where everyone stops and everyone collects the points that they have, or you can say last chance. And what last chance means is that you give everyone else one more chance to score more points than the points that you've presented to everyone. If no one can, you score all the points that you scored, but no one else scores their points. increasing the gap that you have between you and your opponent. I love that option of how you end each round, and it just makes it so much more tense. There's also 2 expansions for this game, which I have both, and there's a new expansion that came out, which I believe is called Extra Pepper, and that adds even much more replayability in this game. The game itself doesn't change much, but it just adds a little extra pepper, a little extra flavor to just want to pull out that game and keep playing it. It's a very small game, but there's so much crunch in this game, so much replayability. I love this one. It can be a little tricky to teach, a little tricky to learn, but the game itself is fairly simple as you're just trying to collect certain types of cards. This is Sea Salt and Paper. Now, on to number 7. For number 7, I have That's Not a Hat, a memory bluffing game. In this game, every player will have a card in front of them. Each card will have some type of drawing or image, whether it be of a bird, a bicycle, or just something random. And at the start of each round, one player will grab a card from the deck, which in this game is called the gift shop. Now you'll grab a gift, and we're all friends here, so we all want to give gifts to each other. So you'll grab a gift from the gift shop and you want to give it to your friend. Now, when you draw the card from the gift shop, the back of the card will indicate who you need to give it to, whether it be to the player to your left or to the right. So when you grab the card, you'll present it in front of you saying this is a bird, and you'll hand it to the player. Now, when you hand it to them, you put it face down. Now it is their turn. And what that means is they just received a gift. So when you receive a gift, you want to give a gift. So then they will then present the card that is face up in front of them, and they will present it to everyone saying this is a hat. And they present it, then in the back of the card will say who they need to give it to, and they'll give it to that player. And that will continue throughout the table until all the cards are face down, and then everyone needs to remember what is it that they have in front of them. Now, if you can't remember, it's okay. It is a bluffing game as well. So as you need to give a gift to the player to your left or to the right, you have to say this is a bird or this is a hat. You need to present what it actually is. If you don't remember, you can lie. Now, when you give it to a player, the player receiving it has a choice to make. They can receive the gift, accept it, and just keep going, or they can say, that's not a hat, or that's not whatever they're presenting. They challenge them. And when they're challenged, they then have to reveal the card, and whoever is wrong receives that card. Whoever receives 3 or I believe 4 wrong loses the game. And that's how the game works. Very simple, very easy. I've talked about this game in other videos as well, but it's just one that always hits the table. I've played at family gatherings, picnics with friends, just in different places, and it plays well with also families and friends that speak different languages. It's perfect. So if you're looking for a small game that you can play with people of different languages, this is a great one. This is That's Not a Hat. Now, on to the next one. For number 6, I have Rebel Princess. Rebel Princess is a trick-taking game based off of the popular card game Hearts, but with a fun twist. In this game, you're trying to stay away from a particular suit of cards. In this one, it's specifically the prince cards that you're trying to stay away from. If you win any prince cards, you score 1 point. And you're trying to get the least amount of points at the end of 4, or I believe 5 rounds. Whoever has the least amount wins the game. If you're into a lot of trick takers, I think this is a nice add to your trick taking collection. However, if you're on the other side of it where you've never played a trick taking game, I still think this is a good get, because there's a lot of other trick takers that are great, but I think it caters well to experienced players and players who've never played a trick taking game. Because I love the aspect of the asymmetric abilities that each player has, adding a fun twist to things that you have to account for, but the actual mechanic itself is very simple. You're just playing a card, and whoever has the highest of that suit wins that trick. But you just want to account for staying away from a particular suit, which are the prince cards. So you want to time which cards you want to play at the right time so that you make sure you don't win certain tricks. I love that. It's Not super thinky, but thinky enough where it scratches that itch. This is Rebel Princess. Now, on to number 5. For number 5, I have Love Letter. Love Letter is a card game, but with a lot of deduction and bluffing. This one is a really interesting game. I don't pull this out as much as I'd like, but every time we play it, we have a great time. The premise is simple. You're trying to acquire these favor tokens. First one to a certain amount depending on player count wins the game. Now, how you acquire a favor token is by either being the last one standing, or when the deck runs out, whoever has the highest ranked card by number wins the favor token. Now, on your turn, you're going to have a card in your hand, and you always need to draw a card from the deck. When you draw a card from the deck, you choose from one of the 2 cards on which one you want to play. You must play a card. That is mandatory. But each of these cards have different abilities where you can look at a certain player's hand, you can swap cards and stuff like that. And this will be going back and forth, and you're trying to eye for that one card that has the highest rank. So everyone can bluff. There's different cards that say you must play if you have a certain card in your hand. So it may hint to someone else that, oh, maybe they have that certain card in their hand, so they must have that card, so I'm going to swap with them. But you can just be outmaneuvering it and just bluffing, thinking that you do have that card, but you don't, to get yourself a better card. There's just a lot of small little nuances that this game creates. It really is about counting cards, because everyone knows how many cards there are of each type, and each type has their own abilities. The highest ranking one is the Princess card, which is a rank number 9. So if the deck runs out, whoever has the Princess card gets the favor token, or whoever has the highest ranked card gains that favor token. So it's about really counting cards, what cards have been played out already, because those are already face up, they're exposed, everyone can see what's been played, and just really reading other people. This is a really good, simple game. I think the biggest thing to teach is just explaining what each of the cards do, which isn't much, but if you're playing with people who don't like a lot of teach, just tell them, just learn what these cards do. Once you do, the game flows very easily. You draw a card and you play a card. That's it. Every time we play it, I've played with people where they didn't think that they would like it, and when they played it, they're like, oh, wow, this is actually a very good game. Such a small box game, not even box. It's a bag, and a nice bag as well. This is Love Letter. Now, on to number 4. For number 4, I have Scout. Scout is a ladder climbing card game where you must always place either a set or a run of cards in the middle of the table, currently beating what's ever set out in front of you. Scout is a game I've talked about several times as well in other videos, and if you want to hear more of an in-depth view of this game, you can watch the video above. But again, a quick synopsis is you're just trying to play a set of cards or a run of cards. Pretty simple. However, the key difference in Scout is your hand is fixed. You cannot adjust the cards in your hand. How the cards are set are how they must be played. Scout is a fun, simple little card game, but it can be as stinky as you want it to be or as chill as you want it to be as well. I've played this with different types of groups, where with people who just want to chat and just play something simple, and I've played with others who really want to think and strategize where they place their cards and play these big runs or set of cards. It caters to both audiences, and if you're playing with a mixture of two, I think you'll still have a great time with Scout. Now, on to number 3. For number 3, I have Wordsy. Wordsy is a real-time, simultaneous play word game. In Wordsy, you'll have a grid of 8 letters in front of you, and each letter will score you a certain amount of points depending on where it's placed, whether it be 5 points, 2 points, 3 points, or so forth. Each round, every player simultaneously will look at the grid of letters and think of a word that they can formulate on their little board. They're not forced to use all the letters, and they can even use other letters, but they won't score points for those. They'll only score points for the letters that are there on the grid. As soon as a player thinks of a word and writes it down, They then start the timer where it forces everyone else to write a word. If they're not able to do so, they won't score any points that round. Afterwards, everyone will share their word and score the amount of points that they scored from the letters that they used. Now, they can gain additional points where if they were the first player to write the word and start the timer, and they also scored the most points compared to the group, they get a bonus. However, if someone else scored more points and they weren't the ones that started the timer, they get a bonus because they beat the fastest person who wrote a word. Also, you can choose to challenge players and make sure that they actually spelled the word correctly. I play with a group that we all don't spell well, so we're pretty nice about that. But if you're really into vocabulary and spelling, go at it. And pretty much that's the game. You'll do this for a few rounds, and then afterwards, once all the rounds are done, you'll not score the 2 words where you had the least amount of points, and you count your total sum, as well as add any penalties and your bonuses, and whoever has the most points wins the game. It's a very simple game, very easy to teach. Anything when it comes to just words, spelling, these are just easy to teach because these are things that people can associate things with that they already know. So if you're looking for any small box games that you just want to put on the table and just start playing and not worry about like all these different rules and stuff, Wordsy is a great game. And the production quality on this one is so nice. I love the art style on it. So we pulled this out a few weeks ago with some friends that don't play a lot of board games, but they had a great time and they wanted to keep playing this over and over again. And you can get a bit more competitive where if everyone feels more comfortable, you can start challenging their spelling, things like that. If you're wrong though, and you challenge someone and you were wrong, then you gain a penalty. So you also want to be careful on when to challenge as well. Now, on to number 2. For number 2, I have Cockroach Poker. Now this is hands down one of my favorite party games, so if you want to hear more about that as well, you can check out the link above. But Cockroach Poker is a bluffing game. At the start of a round, a player will draw a card from the deck. Each card is a different type of insect. They'll look at it, they will claim out loud what it is, whether it be a truth or a lie, and then they will hand it face down to another player. Now the player receiving the card has one of 2 choices to make. They can accept the card and continue and say, yes, I believe you. And they can look at it and they can choose to continue the lie or the truth, or just change it up and say, no, that's not it, and then hand it to another player. Now, when the other player receives it, again, they can accept it, or they can challenge them saying, that's not a rat, or that's not, whatever it is. Then they must reveal the card, and whoever was wrong keeps that card. The first one to get 4 of the same kind loses the game. In Cockroach Poker, there are no winners. There's only one loser. Cockroach Poker, to just put it plainly, is a very mean game, but it is a very simple game. So if you're not into mean games, then I would not recommend Cockroach Poker. However, if you like to be a bit mean with your family and friends, get this game. It is so simple, easy to teach, and it's so small as well. You can bring this anywhere, whether it be at a restaurant, out camping, out in a bar, wherever. This is just a great game to have in your car. This is Cockroach Poker. Now, on to number 1. For number 1, I have Mountain Goats. Mountain Goats is a dice rolling, push your luck race game. On your turn, you roll 4 dice and group them however you want, whether it be in singles, pairs, triples, or all 4, to make sums between 5 and 10. Each sum moves your goat up the matching mountain track. When your goat reaches the top, you take a scoring token from that mountain. But here's the twist. Only one player's goat can stay on top of the mountain. Once someone else's goat goes on top, they kick you down and you go all the way to the bottom of that mountain. You can also score additional points if you score a point from each of the mountains. If you do so, you also get a bonus token. The game ends in one of 2 ways. If all bonus tokens are taken, the game ends. If 3 of the mountains run out of points, the game also ends. And that's the game. This is a fun, nice little filler game that's very easy to teach, and I've been having a lot of fun lately playing this one. Yes, there is some push your luck to this game as you're rolling dice and you don't know what's going to happen, but you have control and that player agency on how you want to separate your dice, which will dictate how your goats will move up the track. The turns are simple, they go by very quickly, and the game plays very quickly as well. And you can also see where the goats are and which ones you want to move. If you want to move a 9 or you rather just move the 6 instead, just so you could get on top. So there is some player agency involved, but it's a fun, quick little game that's easy to teach, and the box is very small where you can take anywhere. If you're wanting a small box game that's easy to teach with family and friends, I highly recommend Mountain Goats. And that's why I have it number 1 as my current favorite small box game. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And if you've enjoyed the content, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. Now, are you new to board games? Are you trying to start your own collection? Well, I got the video just for you. I have 9 games that I would recommend to start your collection with. You can see that video here.